Before we build the solution, let's diagnose the problem. Without an index, MongoDB performs a collection scan, or COL scan. It literally inspects every single document in your collection to find matches. While this is acceptable for a few hundred documents, it becomes a critical performance failure when dealing with millions, leading to slow applications and frustrated users. Let's visualize this inefficiency. So, how do we fix the slow, exhaustive call scan? The answer is an index. An index is a special data structure that stores a small portion of your data in a sorted, easy-to-search format. It holds the indexed field's value and a pointer to the full document's location on disk. Instead of scanning the entire collection, MongoDB can now use this sorted map to find exactly what it needs almost instantly. Now that we understand what an index is, let's see it in action. When a query is made on an indexed field, MongoDB's Query Planner chooses a much more efficient strategy called an index scan, or IX scan. It quickly navigates the sorted index to locate the relevant documents and then fetches only those specific documents. This direct approach is orders of magnitude faster than a collection scan. Seeing the performance difference is compelling, but how do we create an index? The command is straightforward. You use the create index method on your collection, passing a document that specifies the field to index and the sort order. A 1 indicates ascending order and a -1 indicates descending. This single command is the foundation of database optimization in MongoDB. The index we just created on the email field is the most common type, a single field index. As the name suggests, it creates a sorted index on just one field. This type of index is the perfect solution when your application frequently queries or sorts on a specific individual field, such as a unique username, a product ID, or a status code. A single field index is great, but what happens when your queries are more complex, filtering on multiple fields at once? For instance, finding all products in a specific category that are also above a certain price. For these scenarios, we need a compound index. This powerful index type includes multiple fields in a single index structure, creating a sorted list based on the defined field order. With compound indexes, the order of the fields you define is absolutely critical. Think of a phone book. It's indexed by last name, then first name. You can easily find all the Smiths or a specific John Smith, but you can't use it to efficiently find everyone whose first name is John. The same logic applies in MongoDB. The query must use a prefix of the index keys to be efficient. Let's solidify this index prefix rule with a clear example. Imagine we have a compound index on category 1, rating -1, price 1. This index can efficiently support queries filtering on just category, queries filtering on category and rating, and queries filtering on all three fields. However, it cannot efficiently support a query that only filters by rating or only by price, as they are not a leading subset of the index keys. Our data often contains arrays, like tags on a blog post or available sizes for a product. How do we index these? MongoDB handles this seamlessly with multi-key indexes. When you create an index on a field that holds an array, MongoDB automatically creates a separate index entry for each element in that array, with each entry pointing back to the same source document. What if you need to search for words within a block of text, like a product description or user review? For this, we use a specialized text index. This index tokenizes and stems the words in your string content, creating an index that enables powerful, language-aware text search capabilities. It can find running if you search for run and can even rank results by relevance. For location-aware applications, MongoDB provides geospatial indexes. These specialized indexes, like 2D Sphere, are designed to work with coordinate data. They allow you to perform highly efficient location-based queries, such as finding all cafes within a 2-mile radius of a user's current location or all parks contained within a specific city boundary. This is the backbone of any geospatial feature. Beyond performance, indexes can also enforce data integrity. A unique index guarantees that no two documents in a collection will have the same value for the indexed field. This is perfect for fields like username or email, where duplicates must be prevented at the database level. If you try to insert a document with a duplicate value, MongoDB will reject the write operation with an error. Now for a clever optimization. What if you only need to query a small subset of your documents, like active user sessions or orders awaiting shipment? A partial index is the perfect tool. By adding a filter expression during creation, you tell MongoDB to only include documents in the index if they meet a specific condition. This results in smaller indexes, saving storage, and improving write performance. Let's explore the pinnacle of query performance, the covered query. A query is considered covered when MongoDB can satisfy the entire request, both the filter and the fields you want returned, using only the index. It never even needs to fetch the full documents from disk. This is by far the fastest way to retrieve data in MongoDB, as it completely eliminates a major step in the process. With all these options, how do you know if your indexes are actually working? The answer lies in the explain method. By appending .explain execution stats to any query, you get a detailed report or query plan showing exactly how MongoDB executed it. This plan is your window into the query planner's mind, revealing the strategies it used. The explain output can seem complex, but we can focus on a few key metrics. The most important is the winning plan's stage. If you see IX scan, congratulations, an index was used. If you see call scan, it's a red flag that your query is not using an index. This single piece of information is the first and most critical step in your analysis. Beyond the stage, two other crucial metrics are total keys examined and total docs examined. The first tells you how many index entries were scanned. The second shows how many full documents were fetched from disk. In a highly efficient query, these numbers should be very close to the number of documents you actually wanted. A large gap between them can indicate an inefficient index. Now that we can build and analyze indexes, we must consider the trade-offs. While indexes dramatically speed up read operations like queries, they introduce overhead to write operations. Every time you insert, update, or delete a document, MongoDB must also update every index on that collection. It's a classic balance between read performance and write performance. Because of this trade-off, it's just as important to know when not to create an index. Avoid indexing fields with very low cardinality, like a Boolean status where the index isn't selective. Be especially cautious on write-heavy collections where index maintenance can become a bottleneck. Remember, over-indexing is a common mistake that can hurt overall performance. Let's conclude with a few essential best practices. First, design your compound indexes using the ESR rule. Structure them to support equality matches first, then sort operations, and finally range filters. Second, always create indexes in the background in production environments to avoid blocking database operations. Finally, regularly monitor your indexes and drop any that are no longer used to reclaim resources. You've made it! You now have a comprehensive understanding of MongoDB indexing, from the fundamental problem of collection scans to the elegance of covered queries. You have the knowledge to diagnose performance issues with explain function, design intelligent indexes for any workload, and build incredibly fast, scalable applications. A well-placed index is one of the most powerful tools in your developer toolkit. Happy indexing!